Hello everyone and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Today we've got another match of the Zelda Randomizer Max Rando Tournament 2025 here. We've got Brackets Round 2 Game 1 between traiLZ and Topplife. It's a semifinals match here in the Max Rando Tournament this year. I'm Stardust. Joining me on comms today is Bright. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Not too bad here.
Excited to see this match, and of course, for me, traiLZ is the one that typically favor, but unless you Topplife take one off them.
Should be an interesting match here. traiLZ, of course, a longtime veteran of the community. Topplife has been in and out of the community for the past couple of years. Played a few different tournaments, and is himself. Actually, I remember him more from other randomizers, particularly LTDPR. But it's nice to see him again over here.
Definitely.
So we've got ourselves here. This is Max Rando, which means that it is random, more so than usual. Even we could have anywhere between 1 and 6 gems, 1 and 8, 1 and 8 hearts. It could be max hearts, no hearts. We'll see. Should be an interesting one. Could be a bit of a disaster, but we'll find out here. We should be going here shortly. Apologies for the slight delay. We're a little late on running the setup today. And but we'll be going here in just a bit. So, firstly, anything particularly you'd like to see out of the seed, Bright?
First thing I'd like to see, like, high life. You prevent early deaths early. Maybe some decent enemy sets starting out. Hopefully high PV droppers.
We'll find out here. I did take a quick peek at the seed to see what they start with, and we are off here. We have 2 lives, Life Fairy Dash, Flute, Any Key, 6 hearts, and a interesting western map. Looks like we've got a river canyon with a red jar on Stonehenge here. Both runners just heading down the coast right now. We find Rando, which we know is Fairy that we started with, so we kind of don't care. And P4 just south of start. Got an item cave here right next to that. And it looks like we do have a bridge over to the eastern coast here. River canyons mean that this one's a north-south river canyon. So there's a big river running down the middle of the map, and we have narrow strips of land on each side with connectors linking them. Yep. And boots are a thing we would very much like to find early in a river canyon because boots make it a lot easier to get around. But they may show up, they may not. We'll find out. Yeah, this being this is a 2 gem, 2 lives seed, so we so on the one hand, 2 gems means this could be pretty quick, especially if GP's on the west. And or just generally available early, although P4 also being on the west means that if GP is here and we want to do a 1 continent seed, we would have to find Reflect here as well.
His orange Tyro is given us 70, so...
And I believe we have a hammer here for our runners. traiLZ picking that up first. He is playing with a Castlevania sprite, which is why the item... And that's one of the sprites where the items are changed to match the game from the vanilla, where the sprite comes from. But Topplife is able to confirm that is a hammer as we get a game over. Not too bad, honestly. Pretty close to start, and on only 2 lives, he wasn't going to get very far after that anyway. And that is P1 north of start with Rauru. And P3 or 6. Okay, then.
Looks like traiLZ is stopped in a pickup play, possibly.
traiLZ is just looking for a heal, and perhaps some hints. And we do have Saria in the far north next to a raft tile. Saria does have Reflect in it, so speaking of. And no hint for trails.
Unfortunate.
And Trophy Cave for trails, we Toplife's going for Reflect. And that is actually a magic jar. Yes, that's confusing. That's a magic jar.
What?
The heart containers are actually meat with Castlevania sprites. You don't remember all the sprite changes for this Castlevania sprite, but I do remember that one because I saw that earlier in the tournament and got a little confused.
Yeah, for sure.
Trails continue to head south. Trails is going to head for the northeastern side of the map here, trying to cross this bridge.
Oof.
Fairy is castable at Magic 1. Looks like it costs about 3 bars of magic, so a little annoying, but castable.
Attack too. And nice.
Spell is in Mido, which isn't super helpful necessarily, potentially, but might as well see at least where the medicine is. Could they at least tell us where not to go?
500 point P-Vag on trail side. Gotta feel good about that. Trail's looking for that next level. Possibly.
Using Pillar P-Bag Cave here, we'll see what he finds.
Ooh,
Top also going to get down stab. And just the P-Bag. Yeah. We are going to have more junk items than average in vanilla in this seed because we did start with 6 heart containers, flute, any key, which needs to be marked on both trackers. We did start with flute, any key, and 2 of these spells are locked behind items. As we find, GP on the maze. Okay then. So, speaking of a potential fast seed, as we also find a Cave 2 Vanilla Shuffle DM!
Woo!
Trails take a quick look just to check that wasn't Hammer Cave or something and decides, quite understandably, I think this is the correct play. No thank you! I'm out of here! Heart container for Topplife, he's not going to be too mad. Always nice. Even though they started with 6 hearts, it's never a bad thing to find a 7, especially when you do only have 2 lives this seed, and only 2 gems, so you're not going to be able to get a lot of levels from this seed.
Been very feet from Trails. Skip that encounter.
Got the first item on the maze here is, I believe that's a glove.
I believe. I'm running. Chad's looking for the second item. Wow.
Already less than about 6 minutes in here, for Trails at least, he, between the 2 runners, Trails doesn't know where Reflect is, he doesn't even necessarily need it. But with Fairy, Glove, any key, a castable fairy at that, he technically could go start diving palaces pretty soon here. I think he's going to try and poke around to see if he can find the other item. But having located GP and 3 palaces, Palace 1, Palace 4, neither 3 or 6, I wouldn't be entirely surprised to see Trail start diving some palaces soon here. Because this has the potential to be a very, very fast seed. It's going to be a low-level seed, since this is 2 gems and only a 2-gemmer, but 500 point P-Bag there for top is going to help with that.
Opting for attack 3. I wouldn't blame him.
Maze Island layout is kind of ugly here. Very long path to basically nowhere except hopefully an item for trails. And Topplife working his way down the east. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh! Ouch.
Yeah, that's game over for trails. Top working his way down the eastern coast of the west, which appears to be extremely empty, and the southeast corner also appears to be inaccessible from the northern side, and as I expected, Trails is starting to jump into palaces. This is P1 here for him. And we'll see how... This is usually a pretty small palace, so likely going to be able to find Horsehead in fairly quick order and pick up a level, and yep, as I said that. And no surprise, Attack 2 should be just fine for Horsehead for Trails, and that's going to be his first gem here. I assume he doesn't have Reflect yet, so we'll see if he chooses to go look for the other spells on the west, because he hasn't found Sario yet, which is in the far northern side of the map, which is where, and that has Reflect. So he could go exploring looking for that. I'm not sure if he's actually seen all 3 palaces on the west yet, because so he might go looking for that. He's also just going to find the item in P1 here, so that'll be it for P1 for him.
I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah. Actually, no, this is not the item room, and I'm just being a scatterbrain, but he's gonna probably try and find the item in 1 and then head out. Magic Jar for Top.
Careful, Trails. You can't go running into things.
Yep. Annoyingly, Fairy is 41 magic here at Magic 3, which is castable exactly is 1.2 expensive to cast twice on 5 magic bars. The way that magic work, the magic bars in terms of points, like MP essentially, work in Z2 is each bar of magic is 16 points. 5 bars of magic, thus gives you 80 points. 41 is 1 point too much to cast twice when you have 80 points of magic. It looks like that elevator top-down loops into itself. The trail's going to take the left here.
Definitely in a key. Trying up these easy levels. I think Magic 3.
Yep, Topplife having done a little bit more exploration, a bit more killing of enemies here than Trails, and found a couple more P-bags. Those have slightly better levels. I have no idea what Trails just found.
I wasn't paying attention. I'm sure we'll see
it's right. Apparently
it's boost, yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be helpful for overall exploration, hopefully.
Oh, for sure. Just for getting around the west, sorry, is going to be much easier. We might never see the east this seed. Top's about to find GP, and I think he will likely do the same choice as Trails. Wherein I think Top's gonna go see Vanilla Shuffle DM, check to see if this is Hammer Cave, and then nope right back out. Vanilla Shuffle DM is slow. It's long, it's a pain to navigate. You're basically playing Rush Cave Roulette is how Vanilla DM plays. And in a seed that's has the potential to be this fast, yeah, I don't think either runner will be going on there unless they have absolutely no option. And when I say absolutely no option, as Topplife gets his glove and knows he's in potential go mode if he doesn't need Thunder, the only thing we really could need at this point to beat the seed is Thunder, which will be on the east. We have seen all 4 towns on the west, we haven't seen the east. They really hope they never need to find it at this point. They are both in Rush Dungeon mode, and get going.
Yeah, nice colorful palace right here.
This is P3 or 6, which is P6 with an immediate Barba. Alright. Trails is probably just going to go beat Barba and run for GP. And I expect Topplife to do basically the same thing, beat P6 here, go up to P1, find out that Horsehead is free, and beat that, and run to GP as well.
Because definitely well done.
Yeah, Attack 3 also just doesn't do a whole lot to Barba, even on a good day. It is the last regular palace of the game, and Vanilla does intend you to have a bit more than Attack 3 by the time you get here.
Yeah, I reckon.
Question for chat here, and for you, I suppose, Bright. Do you want to see a T-Bird required GP?
From the chat's perspective, of course. Runner's perspective, maybe not.
Yeah, because at this point, they are both in Schrodinger's Go mode. If they need Thunder, they're not in Go mode. If they don't need Thunder, they're done. traiLZ is looking for a little bit of extra experience here to get that next level. As previously mentioned, in this 2-gemmer, experience and levels are going to be in short supply. Fairy's 38 at Magic 4, which isn't much cheaper, but at least they can cast it twice per life now, and that is a big help. Slow and steady wins the race, or the fight in this case. For Barba, it's not fast, but it does work. Now, I believe both runners do have downstab, but jackhammer strats when you only have 2 lives is not the brightest idea.
There's enough. Damn, life 5.
Not a bad idea here with only 2 lives. You have the life spell, but you'd rather save your magic for Fairy, and that will help at least survive.
Definitely.
But this is going to be a relatively lower percent GP, not true low percent, but fairly low percent GP run. It's going to be about 346 for traiLZ. I think it's probably going to be 344 or 335 maybe for Topplife. 2 lives. They'll probably really try to not cast a life spell as much as possible because they only have 2 lives and they want to save all the magic they can for Fairy. They did start with Dash, but you'll notice how neither runner used it this seed because they'd kind of like to save it for other things. Ooh, Top getting a nice gonna get a nice triple level here, up to 345, and is going to take it up to, I'm assuming he's gonna just take life 6 and get going here. Or actually no, that is attack 4, never mind, right. So 445 for Top, 445 for traiLZ. Topplife is going to go beat P1, which is going to take no time at all. And I think he's going to run straight to Maze Island after that. I don't know what traiLZ just found, to be honest, Tomatak.
I have no clue. So watching this masterful Horsehead fight.
Had a slight bit of trouble with the final hit, but very nice. And downstab for traiLZ, gem 2 for Top. We are going. Top is going to take Magic 5, which... And he's going to just take a really quick look, see if the item is here, you know, hoping for probably a Magic Jar or Heart Container. But yeah, it's not worth it to stick around. He is going to also run out of here, taking a Magic 5 there as for that gem. It looked like Fairy stayed the same cost, which doesn't really surprise me. It would have had to go down significantly for it to be worth a whole lot, but oh well. traiLZ is going to be Top into GP by just a tiny bit here, about a 1730 entry to GP for traiLZ.
Careful.
Just a little faster because he has boots.
Yeah, careful with the chickens. They can definitely do a lot of damage really quick.
Oh yeah. Chicken Knights and spicy chickens too are notorious.
Let's use the dash.
Yeah.
Up A is leaving GP?
Oh, that room's kind of... That room is not... That particular room that he just found, which is the harder part to continue in GP. You need to kind of go up and through some blocks to be able to continue, and I think you need either... Yeah, you need upstab, or I think the jump spell to get through there.
Interesting.
Yeah, needs upstab or jump. So, that's a rare case of an upstab jump block, and we need to find the east. traiLZ is double checking Maze Island. For the second item here. And it looks like, okay, traiLZ did not find a raft earlier, but they're both looking for the second item, looking for the raft tile. For the raft. We did see the raft tile on the west earlier, and we are really hoping that that's our way to the east and that we don't have to go dig Vanilla Shuffle DM to find it.
Yep.
Because that would suck.
We all know chat wants this big death mountain.
Oh, chat absolutely wants to dig DM, as we find a second magic jar on Maze is not our answer. Top hasn't seen all of Maze Island yet, because he was a little later to get here, so he's going to take a look and see if there isn't a connector here somewhere. But from our perspective, let's see... traiLZ got, a second heart container out of P1? We didn't get the item out of 4, we didn't get the item out of 6. We did see all 6 overworld items on the west, so... yeah, we're looking at 4 or 6, I think, is our... 4, 6, or go dig DM, I think is the answer to this seed.
If I were the runners, I would prefer Palace over Death Mountain.
Topplife deciding to actually take a look in DM while he's here, which is a terrible idea given that he's already here, and he might as well see what is here. As I realize, actually no, boots were in P1 and I'm scattering. Yeah. We do see Spectacle Rock right there on the left for Topplife, but we don't know how to get there. In every other biome in 4.0 and onwards, in these flags, connector caves lead in the direction they look like they go in. The exception is Vanilla Shuffle DM. Caves can go anywhere. Good luck, basically, is pick a cave, hope you guess right, and rinse and repeat is how you navigate Vanilla Shuffle DM, essentially. And it could be a while, but this might pay off. Topplife knows this is perhaps a bit of a metagame play for Top, knowing that traiLZ is a very strong runner who is probably more likely to go dig palaces than Vanilla Shuffle DM. And it could pay off, or it could be a giant waste of time. We'll find out.
How about the commit?
But there's a couple different
traiLZ.
Yep. But there's a couple things Top is looking for here. He's looking for... There's 3 things he could potentially want here. It could be a connector cave to the east. It could be finding Hammer Cave to get him... Or Spectacle Rock to get him the item for the raft to get him to the east. He does have the hammer, so Spec Rock is an option, if he can ever find it. And traiLZ actually hasn't cleared everything on the west yet, so he's still missing a couple overworld items on his side, so he's looking for those, hoping his raft tile is on one of them. Hammer Cave for top.
Raft is here, that'd be huge for Topplife, definitely.
It really would. And actually, no, trail surprisingly, he has decided to make the same play to go DM. Top is still on his first life, down about half his magic bar and half his health bar. But, this Hammer Cave's honestly not too terrible for enemies, so he's doing alright so far. And nope, just a pee bag. Womp womp. That's not what we wanted to see, game. Or the rudders dealt. Our side, hey, extra seed for us. There goes the first life for top.
Up to that 6 grid.
4, 5, 6 for trails. The top's pretty close to getting his next life as well. Or next level as well. Ooh. Top, I was going to say, go back for the P-Bag there, because he is close to a level, and he would like to get that before he game overs or up-A's out of DM, whichever comes first. And back to playing Cave Roulette. I lost track a while ago of where Top hasn't been, so I'm not sure if traiLZ is following a similar route or a different one.
I think it's on a different one, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely, I haven't seen this before.
Oh yeah, this candidate is new. Life 6 for Top.
Huh.
Now, if traiLZ's route takes him to either Spec Rock with the raft or the connector cave first, then it'll save him some time if he's able to skip it. But Top has just found a river canyon east. This one is running east-west, and we do have thunder, which isn't exactly the thing we'll want, but we'll take it. Might as well pick it up while we're here, and Trail's hot on his heels. traiLZ, to note, does have boots, which I think he got out of P1, and that is a big time save in these river canyons. And we do have one of P2 or 5. We do not want to dig this. We really don't need to. We just want to... That's just a spot to up-A. And Buru has jump. Alright, we're gonna probably grab that. And get going, I think, for Topplife. He's going to hope we don't have an upstab block, likely.
Well,
Trail's taking a slightly different route.
Magic.
Oh yeah, Trail's got another magic jar, yeah. Yeah, Top thought I'd take a quick look around to see if Darunia's nearby for upstab. But I'm hoping I think he is likely to probably head back to GP fairly soon here. And there's a raft tile, so that would have been the other way to get here.
Who knows where that could have been?
Raft is likely in one of in one of our palaces or on the east at this point. Trail's finding jump here. Top is looking for Darunia just in case upstab's required, and he might find it. I'm hoping for his sake it's not boots locked here, because that would be a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Our runner's still pretty much neck and neck, as that was a candle on the desert tile. And Sunken Pea Bag Cave. Gonna hope this is boots probably for top.
I don't really know what it isn't, but I decided to see what it is. Oh, magic container. That's nice.
Not too bad. And here's the Runia. So we really don't. We started with dash from here. We are not going to care about that. We just need to grab upstab and run for both runners. Topplife hot on traiLZ's heels. traiLZ is slightly ahead here, both because he's physically ahead in Runia, and because he has, and because traiLZ has the boots to get back to Maze Island a little faster. But this is a very close race right now.
That's for sure. As Topplife wins up his upstand.
Yep. And actually, no, traiLZ is staying on the west. He is still staying on the east. He is still looking for something. I'm not entirely sure what, but he's not leaving yet, so scratch that on the lead. I'm trying to think about what traiLZ could be looking for here on the east. I'm fairly sure he saw Saria on the west, which has Reflect in it. Oh, traiLZ is looking for a quick level. That actually does make sense. He's pretty close. Thank you, Tomotakar Checker, for catching that. Okay, so that's... Okay, so that's that level for traiLZ, and he is going to be right behind Topplife. Top having just a slight lead here back into GP, re-entering just under the 30-minute mark. Right, very, very close race between our runners here. Topplife about 10-15 seconds ahead of traiLZ on the GP re-entry, but traiLZ has slightly better levels. They both have the same number of magic jars. traiLZ has one extra heart container. You know, little things that can add up, but this is going to be interesting. Routing is likely going to be a big factor if we have any options in terms of routes. If one runner takes a left and the other takes a right, or an up versus a down, this could turn into a very, very interesting race here.
Topplife, you got this. There you go.
Actually, I do have the same number of hearts, and I just can't count. Thank you, chat, for correcting me.
High five for the runners.
Yep.
Oh man. This is quite the intense bitch you got going on here.
We've got evidence. traiLZ deciding to... No, we don't. I was going to say, I think that for sure it's dead end. So, Top, just about half a room behind traiLZ here.
Topplife, careful.
Yep. Oh, hey, downstab block. This is one of the community rooms designed by a member of the community, which has some very rude chickens in it. Yowp. Designed so you specifically so you cannot upstab skip if you're coming at this from the opposite direction.
Ooh.
It's also a really rough room to get stuck in a sick chicken sandwich in, like Top has.
Yeah. Of course.
And more chicken, speaking of.
Topplife trying not to get bopped. Oh. No! Ah. It happens. Step room. Dump. They did it, Sterling. Yeah, freaked out for a second.
Oh. Topplife seeing this lovely pair of chickens and decides, understandably, to ferry through it, which I think is a correct choice, especially given, hi, they're chicken. And we do have some divergence here. Topplife taking the bottom route, traiLZ taking the top route here in this fork.
Of course, King Bot not being kind to traiLZ right now.
No. This low-ceilinged room is not a fun place to run into a chicken knight. Topplife making good use of one of the higher-ceilinged areas to get past it.
I'd opt for the ferry.
I was going to say, I would definitely go for the ferry here. traiLZ is low on health, and this is a 2-life seed. You want every refill you can get. Okay.
Hoping for a match chart.
Yeah, Top making me rather nervous there in this room with the chicken knight, but did manage to squeak through, and dead end for traiLZ. Womp womp.
That is just a hit down the first left. That'd been awesome. You're seeing Lados this tournament. And here's Darklink for traiLZ.
GP, and here, yep, that's Darklink for Top. He is on 2 hearts, so there is... He cannot take too many hits here, but he does have life 6, so... Well, let's see how it goes. And traiLZ is deciding to take the first left, which, unfortunately, we know is not going to be the answer.
And that's a GG for Topplife. GG's in chat.
GG's. Now, taking game 1 here, this is a best of 3 series, so this is not over for traiLZ. He will have more opportunities. And actually, no, that first left from start looks like it looped back around, because this is the route to Darklink, I think. Huh, never mind.
Interesting.
Oh wait, no, this is a different room. That was just a very similar looking elevator room. So traiLZ is down a different part of GP that is... I think it's the answer, as we are joined by Topplife. GG's.
GG.
GG's.
I'm getting too nervous of these races.
Yeah, traiLZ is a pretty decent experienced runner. I wouldn't blame you.
It's a bit of an interesting one here. 2 gemmers can always be a little tricky when you've only got, especially against a runner like traiLZ, and on only 2 lives.
Yeah, like, compared to my previous race, you can see I have a totally different angle when running against traiLZ. Like, there was no breaks there. I would just go for the most part.
Yeah, between the 2 of you, we had, you guys started with any key, you had Fairy, you had Life, you found Reflect pretty early, traiLZ found the Glove pretty early, and between the 2 of you, and then, GP was just on the maze, which is fairly accessible. So I was thinking that, this could be a really fast seed, which it almost was until you found that upstab jump block room 3 rooms into GP, and then it's like, oh, never mind.
At least it was early.
If
that
that's
had been
true.
deep, then I don't think I could beat traiLZ. Like, he is better at me in GP, so the longer I spend there, the more time I lose.
It's funny, because actually, I think he was slightly, just barely ahead of you, getting into GP the first time, about the 17-minute mark. You guys then both left GP. He got boots out of P1, by the way, which he never found. Now that it didn't ultimately make a big difference. He found the boots out of P1. You found Hammer Cave, and he didn't. You guys took slightly different routes to Maze Island. But you both picked up you both picked up jump, upstab, and jump and upstab, but on the east at around the same time. He stuck around a little extra for the level, but the way for an extra level because he was close to one in terms of experience, just because of what he'd picked up in DM. But then but you guys were still super close getting back into GP. You just took different routes. Because the elevator, because it was a few rooms after that upstab jump block room where you both took that right the first time. In the triple chicken room that was a couple rooms after you went down, then he went right, which then led him down a bit of a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I could see that he was in unexplored rooms for me when I turned on the stream. So
yeah, he then took that left one, and then he found the dead end eventually down that route he took. He then took a left at the first left after start at that upstab jump block room, and then he eventually worked his way back around the Dark Links, which is GG to him. As he joins us in the race in the voice chat here, GG's Trails finishing with a time of 38:42.
GG's, what happened? What did I just do DM late?
You took a different route, and GP was the final decider.
I figured, yeah. I saw everything except for Thunderbird. I should have gone down in that elevator.